everybody. Welcome back. It is Thursday morning at 9:30 here in St. Louis, which means it is time for our weekly live. Hello, everyone on Instagram. Hello, everyone on Facebook and YouTube and all the other crazy places where we are streaming this video. This is our second time doing this, folks. Something is probably going to go wrong. I get it. Please bear with us. But we're trying something new and, trying to do super awesome things for all of our members. So, good morning, everyone. I usually like to start these with a little joke because I know people are still popping in from all over the world into this live. And so last week we got to see my son tell us his Halloween joke. My 13-year-old was jealous. Lincoln did not get a chance to share his Halloween joke with everyone. And so he wanted me to share this with everyone today, and it cracked me up, so I thought I would share it. So, why did the skeleton go back to the barbecue? Because he wanted another rib. I get it. He's 13. It's funny. We all laughed. It was great. Okay, so for everyone that's joining us, we are on so many different platforms this morning. My team has prepared a list of all the things I'm supposed to say, all the housekeeping items at the beginning. So the first thing is thank you for joining me. Hey, we're going to do all sorts of cool stuff. I'm actually going to be giving away a Rosa's Holiday Your Way countdown box during this live. So be sure to stay tuned till the end. We'll give you instructions at the end. Hang with us. So make sure that, oh my gosh, so there were a whole bunch of notes. So we're on StreamYard. That's the platform we're using. And in order to, when you comment, for us to be able to see who it is and reply back to you, you have to accept their permissions. So I can see there's some folks that are leaving comments, and my team is going to be working through those during the live. So make sure you accept and permissions so we can reply back to you. And if you have any specific questions, we can follow up with you after the live. Also, if you're catching us on a rebroadcast, that's totally cool. That's going to happen. I get it. It's 9:30. People have lives to get back to. Our team monitors all the comments and the feeds, and we will definitely be answering all of your questions as we share a whole bunch of information. So today is one of my favorite topics. Today, we're going to give the story of Cotton Cuts. This is one I love sharing, how we got here and where we came from, especially this month, because this month is our 7-year birthday. 7 years ago, we shipped our first Cotton Cuts, and the first day we actually shipped was the 20th, which happens to be tomorrow. So this broadcast is super, super, super timely for that. Super special. I remember on the 20th, it was cold, it was raining, and I carried 30 little Cotton Cuts boxes to the post office in a tub. This month, we're going to ship about 5,000 packages. So how did we get here? How did this all come to be? That's part of what we're here for today. So I am an engineer by education. I credit becoming an engineer because I've been a quilter since I was 13. I made my first quilt when I was 13. It was an ocean wave quilt. It's an old design. I have a feeling it's probably going to come back again. And it was all in solid. For those of you that had quilt shops in the 80s, they were all calicos, so teeny tiny little floral prints, as well as novelty prints. So if you wanted any sort of awesome tacky Christmas fabric, you could find it at the House of Fabric. So I chose to sew with solids. I know now that's super modern to do, but I made an ocean wave quilt with my solid fabrics. And there was so much engineering in what we had to do. That was before we had rotary cutters. And so there was a lot of like manual cutting with scissors. I remember the day my mom took a rotary cutter class. She brought home what looked like a pizza cutter, and my dad promptly used it to cut pizza, and she almost lost her mind. Like, we've all been there. We know how that works. You do not use a rotary cutter on anything food related if you treasure your life. So it was game changing for me because we could cut more pieces faster with that rotary cutter. And I know now in hindsight that seems silly, but I remember that day very fondly. So I became a biomedical engineer. I spent a ton of time designing medical devices and pharmaceuticals and realized I was not spending a lot of time with my family. My kids are my life. I've had them on many lives with the company, and they're adorable and they're cute, and I wanted to spend time with them. So I read a business article about subscription boxes. And so subscription boxes 7 years ago were all the rage. You had any sort of hobby or habit, there was a subscription box for you. Bearded dragons, if you liked exotic cars, if you had a rare breed of dog, whatever you wanted, there was a subscription box for you. And I was like, I have a couple hobbies. I like to quilt. I wonder what quilting subscription boxes are out there. And I bought all of them. I went to all the companies that were offering a subscription box for quilting. And I was like, okay, let's kind of see what this is all about. Maybe this is fun. Maybe there might be something here. And very candidly, I didn't like any of them. I was very deliberate about documenting what it was like to open them. I was a big fan of that experience. When you open a box, how does it make you feel? Right? Because it's more than just fabric. It's more than just throwing junk in a box and hoping that you like it. And every single time I opened it, like, am I excited by this? And so there was a couple reasons for me. So a lot of the boxes ship me notions that I don't need. I've been quilting since I was 13. I have a whole box of seam rippers. I don't need the latest and greatest seam ripper. I have a ton of rulers. They would send me rulers and I'd look at it and be like, I don't know what I'm going to ever do with this. And then it would just collect dust. And they would ship me fabric that, while pretty, I knew I would never use. And I was like, I know the type of quilter I am. I'm never going to use this fabric. And while this pattern is super pretty and cute and looks great on Instagram, I just don't have time in my life to go find the fabric it's going to take to make that pattern. And it wasn't a fit for me. And I really didn't find any boxes that sang to me. And I gave a whole bunch of thought to that. I was like, well, quilters aren't all the same. I can be in a guild meeting and sitting next to one of my best friends, and we get along on so many things, and we hate the same fabric. Like we don't like the same fabrics as each other. And she makes beautiful stuff that I can love and appreciate, but I would never be able to do what she does, nor she what I do. And so for me, that's when I kind of got stuck on the phrase, no two quilters are cut from the same cloth, right? Nobody is the same. We're all different. We all like different things, which is great and amazing and beautiful. And so when I launched the first Cotton Cuts box, I wanted to make sure that it was as individualized and personalized as all the quilters in this world are. And so Stitch Fix is a clothing subscription service. You answer a survey and you tell your person that you're paired with what you like and what you don't like. And every month they send you fabric based on your preferences. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Surely we can do that with fabric. And so I took a good 6 months. I taught myself how to build a website. I had no Facebook and no Instagram accounts at the time. I learned everything I possibly could about all these social media platforms that were so new and foreign to me. And at 6 months, I launched a website with our first box, our first subscription, our first membership. And within 10 minutes, we had our first customer, which was super exciting and validating to me. And so let's talk a little bit about what that first box is. So it is called Cotton Cuts Classic. So our classic membership, when you sign up for it, you get asked a couple questions. What fabrics do you like? What fabrics do you absolutely not like? What are your favorite colors? And what is your favorite cut of fabric, right? That's important, right? Some quilters love fat quarters. Some quilters love half yards. And it's important that we make sure that we're matching what type of quilter you are with the fabric we send you every month. So here's actually an example of what our classic membership looks like. So this is a fat quarter box. This box would be absolutely amazing for someone who likes pastels, who likes more muted colors, and for someone who likes coordinating fabrics in a light kind of earthy color tone. This is not everyone. This might not be your box if you sign in and answer questions differently, but this would be fantastic for someone who answered the survey at that specific way. What we also do is we pair you up with an enthusiast. And each month they reach out and are like, hey, did you like it? Did you not like it? What can we do differently? Which is a great opportunity for you to say, hey, my guild has a challenge and we're all sewing orange fabrics and I have no orange fabric in my stash. Can you send me orange fabrics? We'll do that. Or, hey, I've never sewn with Kaffe before. Can you send me some Kaffe facet fabric? And we'll do that too. There's a whole bunch of different ways in which this box can be customized. If you want fat quarters one month and half yards the next, we'll switch that for you. I think this box is amazing for beginning quilters that don't know what they don't like or that don't know what they do like. And so it's a great way to try new fabrics, try new designers, and just see kind of where you fit in this crazy quilting world. It's also a great way for people who don't have access to quilt shops. This is becoming more and more common, unfortunately, where you have to drive too far to get to a quilt shop. You can try the box, discover a new designer, and buy with confidence online. You've seen the fabric, you've touched the fabric, you know what it looks like, and then you can buy online with more confidence. That's all part of the reason why we launched this box. Now, I talked about patterns, right? And so I wanted to do patterns differently for this classic box and most all of our boxes. And so each month, we feature a different independent quilt designer. So this month, Shannon Fraser is our designer. And what we do is we write up a little bio and connect and introduce you to new and interesting people doing great things in the quilting community. And then you get your choice of pattern. So each month we feature 3 to 5 different patterns from this designer, and you go online and you download it and you can print it out. You get your choice. We pick patterns that are easy, patterns that are hard, really giving you an option to pick that pattern that you're going to make and you're going to love using the fabrics we send to you. Each month, we also do this crazy color challenge. So adult coloring is and always will be a fantastic stress reliever. This was big for me, 7 years ago as a way to relieve stress. So every month we send these color challenge blocks. It's a simple 12 by 12 block. We give you cutting and sewing directions if you choose to cut and sew it. And on the back, we give a coloring grid. And every month we give a prize. This is something that we, take great pride in. This takes a lot of work from our team, but I think it has a lot of value to our members. And plus, if I don't necessarily have time to sew this today, I can hold on to it. And then at the end of the year, when I have 12 of these blocks, I can make a super awesome creative quilt. So launched this classic box, carried my 30 boxes in the rain to the post office to mail them that first month. And then I was almost immediately contacted by a quilt shop owner in New Zealand. So she had been running this block of the month program out of her quilt shop, and she wanted someone in the United States to partner with. And so she reached out to me and said, like, hey, you've just launched this company. Maybe we'd be a great business partner together. And so, traditional business tells you do one thing, focus on one thing, do one thing well before you do all this other stuff. I've never believed in the traditional way of ever doing anything. And so I was crazy enough to say yes. And so 6 months after we launched our classic membership, we ended up adding Puzzle Mystery Quilt. So I'm not going to talk about the Puzzle Mystery Quilt today. We're going to do a whole other video about that program and the genesis of it, because it is so awesome and special. There are 4,000 detectives all around the world that participate in our Puzzle Mystery Quilt. It is one of the best decisions I've ever made, saying yes to her and taking that phone call. And we'll definitely talk more about it at a later point in time. So 6 months after we launched this Puzzle Mystery Quilt, I was approached by a competitor who was selling subscription boxes, but she was about to have her 5th child and her fulfillment partner was going out of business and she needed someone to take care of her baby for her. And so I said, sure, why not? Take the phone call. This is kind of a theme. Always take the phone call for me. And so that's where our Modern Maker Box subscription comes from. And so in this program, in this membership, we pick a different modern collection of fabric each month. And we pick 9 prints that coordinate well together, that have large scale prints, medium scale prints, and small scale prints. And we put them in these awesome boxes for you. And so they look awesomely beautiful together. Same thing, you get a pattern of your choice with this to download whenever you want. And it comes to you every month. So you know what the collection is. There's always a surprise with what you're going to receive. The 3 1-yards, there's a whole program and a whole world out there of quilts that can be made with 3 1-yards. This also works really well for larger projects. So a lot of people make dresses and apparel with these fabrics because they're typically they're more modern. And as we define modern today, they're usually more simple designs. They're definitely something that can be more universal than just quilts. But I have definitely seen a lot of amazing modern maker quilts made with these fabrics. Same thing, pattern, color challenge card. The unique thing about this one is you actually get a Quilting Truth pencil. And so I know pencils are kind of old school. I think finding a pencil sharpener is probably easier to find a needle in a haystack, but I still love them because I'm vintage and old school. And it has a different quilting saying on it. And so this one is one of my favorites because it's the right mix of quilting and geeky. And it says, press to the dark side. I always press to the dark side. Very traditional. I know a lot of people like to do it differently. I'm a press to the dark side person. Okay, so then time goes on and we need to do something different, cool, and exciting. And so, I really love thread. We've started shipping this Aurifil thread. Aurifil is a super high quality Italian thread that a lot of quilters like, but don't necessarily have great access to where they're at. And so I was like, why don't we come up with a super awesome thread membership where we ship this Aurifil thread, but understanding that not everyone uses a thread at the same volume, not everyone sews at the same speed. Why don't we offer a lot of different iterations of it? And so that's where our Chroma membership came from. Chroma is color, right? And so in this case, each month we pick a different color theme. This one was pink. I think pink is February. We just shipped October. October was orange. and you get your choice. So if you're a super awesome, prolific quilter and sewer and you sew a lot, you can do 3 big spools each month. And each month you're going to get a new set of colors and you'll be able to replenish that stash and build that rainbow of thread. If you're like me and you sew a little less, we have little small spools as well. And you can get 4 of them or you can get 6 of them. And so it's a great way just to kind of add that injection of color into your thread. Before Aurifil, I was a pure white Gutermann sewer. I know I'm, again, not alone in this, but I upgraded to Aurifil and I haven't looked back. It is such a great quality of thread. And I love that each month is a different color because I would struggle to pick out colors if I was looking at an Aurifil wall. This is a great way to get that to you. We also then launched our Java membership. So Java is actually the island in Indonesia where batiks are made. And so that's why we call this Java. It is our batik membership. And so each month you get a little box and it comes with our batik bundle. And so we source these from Hoffman and each month is themed. And so this one is the one we shipped in October and it's called Trick or Treat. They are themed to the holiday of the month in which we ship them. And so this is a lovely assortment of purple and black and green and orange batiks. We also ship a fat quarter friendly pattern with that. So you can actually take this fabric and make a project each month. So this is what October is. November will be more fall themed. December will be more Christmas themed. This is for batik lovers out there, this is a great way to get 12 coordinated batiks without having to go and buy 12 bolts of fabric and cut fat quarters off all of them. This is my favorite. This is the one where I can easily make projects each month with the Java membership. I love it. Again, it comes with a spool of thread, patterns, and a pencil. Then we started die cutting a lot of fabric, right? And I am a big fan of zero waste. I hate throwing fabric away. I remember when I was a kid and using the scissors, we didn't throw anything away at any cost. We kept everything. And so it hurts me to think of throwing away any of the scraps that we have left over when we die cut. And so that's where we launched our snippet membership. And so our snippet memberships are the fabric that is left over at the end of our die cutting process that is still big enough to be used for a quilter. So I get it. I don't want to ship you things that are less than a quarter inch. You're not going to be able to do anything with less than a quarter inch of fabric. And so what we do is we package them up into these little bags. They are less than a pound. And so that actually helps with our shipping rate on them to get them to you. And these we ship at cost. This is not a profit opportunity for us. We don't want to throw this fabric away and we want to put it in its right place. So what you pay in the subscription is exactly what it costs to get it to you. We just want these fabrics to have a lovely, awesome new home. And so inside each bag, I'm like pulling out all these scraps. I know a lot of people that love these. So you actually get some pretty healthy chunks of fabric. So this is actually on the fold here. And so you can get lots of big width. People like these for paper piecing. If you are a selvage lover, and I know there's a lot of Tula Pink fans out there, I know that is probably the most valuable piece of fabric in this Stippet bag. People love these fabrics. It is a great way to upcycle and recycle if you're doing a charity project and you need to get fabric to make something quick and easy for a baby quilt. This is a fantastic project. It helps us, it helps you. We love keeping everything as much as we can out of the waste bin. So then we were thinking, okay, so people love these snippets. They love making things from our extra. What else can we do? And so my kids are huge Lego fans. My kids give me inspiration all the time. I love Legos and I love those Lego boxes that aren't made to make a project. They're just general use pieces that you can just sit and play with. And I love being creative in a world where you can just sit and play. And so that's where our Stitch It boxes came from. And so this is an example of one of our stitches. And what we do is we take a single collection of fabric and we die cut it. And we give you triangles and squares and strips, and you get to play. You get to be a kid again. You can take these and put these on a table, on a design wall, and organize them in different shapes. We actually gave some to my team, and we had people making houses with them. We had people making arrows. We had people making envelopes. It was really whatever they wanted to do. It was a good opportunity and invitation to just play and be creative without having an end path in mind. And I like that. That's awesome. These are super limited release for us. We only do this once a month. Once they're sold out, they're sold out. It's usually within 24 hours. But these are great opportunities to just kind of live without bounds and without structure, which I know makes some people uncomfortable, but is actually energizing to many of you. All right, so that's where we are today. Looking forward at all the things that Cotton Cuts has, we're going to be launching so many new products before the end of this year. We've got so many great ideas and the right team in place to help us get them off the ground. You definitely need to stay tuned. I know there's 2 we are launching before the end of the year that are unique, that nobody else in the quilting world is doing, and that we are super energized and psyched about. So you have to stay tuned to where we are and make sure you keep following these lives each week. So with that, I promised we're going to give away a Roses Holiday Your Way countdown box. So we're going to do a 31-day fabric countdown. So the winner will get to choose, do they want batik or do they want cotton? Now we're streaming this on lots of different platforms. We're going to scrub through all of them and we're going to pick one winner. And in order to be entered to win, you have to tell us what your favorite fall memory is. What is your favorite part about fall? Today I drove into work and I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt today and I almost forgot my jacket, right? So because it's one of those days where you show up with a jacket and you leave it at work and because it's so nice by the end of the day, but it's fall in St. Louis. What is your favorite part of fall? Share it in the comments on whatever platform you're watching and we'll give away one Roses Holiday Your Way countdown box. Those are going to start shipping from here in about a week and a half. We are almost sold out on a lot of them. I'm going to encourage all of you to go to the website, look for Roses Holiday Your Way. If you're looking for a holiday gift this year for you or that best friend quilter that sits next to you in the guild meeting and is very different than you, these are great gift ideas. Everything is all included in one, and you can just put a little bow on it and off you go. Okay, don't forget to join me next week. I will be here at 9:30 on Thursday, and we will be talking about something new. Stay tuned to all of our social channels. My team is coming around. I believe we have some questions. Do we have any questions that I need to talk about with folks? Or we're good? Okay, my team will go through and they will definitely answer anything that you might have had in the questions. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I can't wait to talk to everyone next week. Have a great rest of your day and a great weekend ahead.